I think a lot of times in community and life, when you think about and you like the things that are talked about a lot, the more it's talked about, the better it is, right? The more it's talked about, the better it is. The more it's not talked about, the easier forgotten it is. I think that's just life in general on how things work. And today I'm going to run down 5 companies, no particular order, and there's other companies that could fit into this category as well, but these are 5 that I find myself using quite a bit. But when I come to videos, community, conversation, they're kind of 5 companies that don't get brought up a whole ton as super popular or bigger companies. And granted, they're not bigger, but they're companies that are kind of my go-tos that don't get a whole lot of attention in the beer community on a regular basis. So let's dig into those 5 companies right now. So I'm Tyson with Faithfully Bearded, and if you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. This is a great beard channel. It's a fun channel. You get to know my personality. You get in my life. It's fun, Hey, if you want to subscribe, hit that subscribe button, the thumbs up, and the bell so you know when I launch any new video. If you don't want to, hey, that's cool too. Thanks for checking out this video, by the way. So today I want to talk about 5 companies that I find myself going to a lot. And I sit there thinking you go into a room, a chat room, a live stream or anything like that. And everybody's like, what's in beard? And it's usually like the hot company of the month or the hot scent of the month. And, so I find myself like, how come nobody really says this company or how come nobody says this company? But they were really popular at one time. And I think a lot of it comes down to just what we surround ourselves with in this smaller, the tight-knit beard community. But I think also a lot of it comes to just how they participate on Instagram and the presence that they necessarily have in the community. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're bad. Doesn't mean that they're better than anybody else. It doesn't mean that they're worse than anybody else. It just means how they participate in the community, maybe what they have going on in life, and these are all small batch. But these are ones that I tend to go back to more often than not. So the first one, when I say the first one, you'll probably be like, well, that's not an underrated company or lower. But let me just preface it with this. When you go into a room, think about when you go into a live stream or when you think of beard products, does this company jump out right at you as one of the, is it one of the first 5 that pop into your mind when you think, what's your favorite beard oil? And that is the Bearded Mac. I adore Chris. I adore what he's doing over there. I think he's an extremely hard worker. The scent profiles are amazing. And yeah, when he launches a new scent, it gets a lot of attention. But then I also think it quickly is overtaken by other new things coming out. And we're all kind of just like, oh, to me, it just seems like the Bearded Mac isn't one that necessarily comes up on the top of our list all the time. And it really should, because it's a fantastic carrier blend. He puts tons of research in. It's very exotic carrier blend. It's not an average normal carrier blend. It's got a lot of crazy, amazing stuff in it. And his scent profiles are awesome as well. The guy's always striving to improve. So, the Bearded Mac is definitely one that I feel like is underrated and should be more of a prevalent, consistent name in the beard community. The next one I want to talk about, again, has a little bit of momentum going this year so far. So I wouldn't necessarily say that they're forgotten or anything like that. But there's so many amazing things about this company that I just feel like I have to reiterate it because, again, it's not one that I see on a lot of people's top lists, and it needs to be. It's great. It's one of the best feeling beards that I've ever had. The scent profiles are amazing. The candles are amazing. The soaps are amazing. And it's the Captain Stash. Clint down there had changed his carrier blend to start the new year, came out with a couple new scents, and the carrier blend is fantastic. It's phenomenal. And he didn't change his prices really anything with it. And I know when we get in the trend of, okay, so Captain Stash is changing his carrier blend and he's on a few live streams and it feels like he's all over. And then all of a sudden now he's kind of just, there's new and other things going on. And I just don't want to make it, I don't want to forget about Captain Stash because it's one that I go to all the time and the scents are amazing. I get compliments on the scents with them and the feel in beard is impeccable. So one of the top of the list in feel and beard for me personally. Plus the candles are just awesome too, and the soap is awesome. And there's a lot of amazing things about the Captain Stash, and I feel like they're underrated. The next one on the list that I feel like is underrated not talked about nearly enough for what it is Renewed Man Grooming. Renewed Man comes in, launches stuff. A lot of people get it. They love it. They're talking about it. But again, it's not one of those that you see people consistently talking about, and it needs to be because the scents are amazing. The presentation and labels, in my opinion, are the best in the game. The artwork, the detail that's put into the labels is impeccable. The presentation and the packaging is impeccable. Jared's an amazing guy. And the Feel and Beard for me is right there at the top. It's one of the best. The scents are amazing. So again, I think Renewed Man Grooming and Jared over there is one of those companies that isn't in everybody's list of like who are your favorite companies and at the top, but really should be. I think it's more one of those that kind of gets pushed down a little bit because isn't all over Instagram or all over live streams or really pushing themselves to the front of everybody's attention all the time. And that's okay. That's okay. And it's okay either way. However you do it, it is okay. But for me, I really enjoy Renew Man. And again, it's one that I wear at least once a week. And I love the scents and it feels really good. And I think when you know and you find out the porosity of your beard, it's one of those that works for every type of porosity. And that is a gem to find, especially if you're a low porosity type guy. The next one on my list that is an amazing product, gets overlooked in the beard community a lot, would be Mr. Pompadour. Mr. Pompadour, ever since I came across them, I've been fascinated with them. It took me a while to try them, but once I tried them, I'm like, wow, these scents are unreal. They are outrageous scents, and all 3 scents are good, and I think they kind of get pushed off a little bit because they only do have 3 scents, and they only have, realistically, oil, butter. There's no balm. They just came out with a beard wash and a beard softener, which you could consider a conditioner or a co-wash, however you look at that, but they call it a beard softener. All fantastic products, top of the line, lab created, so it's all safe, it's all good. They have the grooming side of it, and I think for them, they pay more attention to the hair side of it for men and women rather than the beard side of it. So I think they could become a little bit more prevalent in the beard world if they really push that, but they're more on the barber shop side and pushing the hair products, and that's okay too. But if you have a beard and you haven't tried Mr. Pompadour, I really think you're missing out. They're a great team over there, great people. They do their work, they do their research, and they also have a fantastic experience buying with them and unboxing with them as well. The presentation is good. Great. Now, this brings me to the last company that I'm going to talk about in this particular video. And this is by far, head over heels, the most underrated company, in my opinion, in the beard game, especially with circumstances that have happened lately. And I don't mean like drama or anything like that. I mean like you're talking C-19, which makes it a little bit harder to get things internationally. And you're talking, like birth of a child, which makes life a little bit more hectic for this particular owner. So the company I'm talking about is Barton out of Toronto, Canada. And Adam is done amazing things from presentation to label to scents. He's won Beardies for Scents of the Year, Customer Service of the Year, and he, isn't extremely present in the community anymore. And, the purpose, the why behind that is he had a child. And so he's got a 2-month-old and he's extremely busy trying to be a parent and putting family first. And I absolutely love and adore that and respect that. But with that, I think the conversations of Barton has slowed down. It used to be Barton was top tier, top notch, and you ask a question, what's in beard? It was always Barton, and nothing has changed with Barton. It's the same great company. He's got the best beard wash in the game, and a lot of people will agree with that. He's got some amazing scents. He's got fantastic butter, great design, but we kind of tend to underrate them or push them away a little bit because if beard products aren't launching all the time and being thrown in our face, we tend to go with the new stuff that's coming out because we get the FOMO. We don't want to miss out on it. We get the FOMO. We have to have it, the new stuff. And so when a company stops launching new stuff all the time, I think we tend to push them away a little bit. And I don't think it's anything on purpose or anybody's at blame for that. But Barton is a company that if you haven't tried, you got to try. Their scents are amazing. And their wash is the best beard wash in the beard game. And there's a few of us – reviewers, influencers that agree with that, and we'll push that all day long. So This is my most underrated list in what I tend to use. So this is my preference. All right. This doesn't, if you don't agree, that's fine. These are the ones that I tend to use a lot that I think don't get enough attention in the beard game. So I would consider them underrated. Now go ahead down in the comments below. Give me a couple of your companies that you don't see around a whole ton in the beard world, that are underrated, that they're your go-tos, but they don't get a lot of hype or a lot of attention from people. I want to hear your thoughts. Once I know your thoughts, we will go from there. So let's have some great discussion in the comments below. Comment down there, 3-5 companies of yours that you think are underrated. And until I talk to you guys again soon, I want to thank you guys all for being here. Thank you for your continued support on this over 2 long year venture of the beard community that we are doing. And it's amazing, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Be bearded, be you, and God bless.